Hey everybody, it's your girl Nail. How are you doing? Welcome to Simply Nail's Tiny Studio. And here I am in the tiny studio doing what I do in the tiny studio every day. I know you don't see me every day hanging out here in the tiny studio, but basically I am here but not on camera. As an artist, I'm busy doing a lot of different things. I'm busy crocheting, I'm busy frogging, which means I am taking apart projects that I was working on that maybe I made a mistake at or in, and I have to pull it apart. So I have a couple of those type of projects around here right now that I'll be working on. Not today, you won't see me working on it today, but yes, you know, a lot of things happen here in the tiny studio. I've been doing a little rearranging, a little the last video that I recorded, I was having some lighting issues, so I'm still working on the lighting because you know I am a brown girl, so I like my lighting to reflect that I am brown and not tan or cappuccino. Those are the things that you have to deal with when you're dealing with lighting. You want to make sure that you look and that you are represented as you are. You want to be representative of who you are in real life. So in real life, I want you to see a beautiful brown girl or brown woman. So it's been a minute since I've been in the tiny studio to talk to you, or what I should say is, it's been a while since I have been accepting guests here in the tiny studio. So thank you for, accepting my invitation to hang out with me. I'm looking for my pillow. I usually have a pillow behind me to assist with my back, but I don't have a pillow right now. I have to ask my tiny studio assistant to, see if she can locate my pillow. But that is neither here nor there. As I said before, it's been a while since I have been inviting guests into the tiny studio, and this is a Dreadlock love video, baby. You know what time it is. So it's been a minute since I've had guests here in the tiny studio because, as I've said on the community page, my husband is fighting the battle of his life, and I'm fighting that battle with him. He was diagnosed with stage 3 HER2 positive breast cancer. So we're dealing with that and been dealing with it for the past 7 months. So it's been like this really intense type of journey, and some days it's enough for me to just get out the bed, and basically dealing with my own health issues, and I'm on my own health journey as far as I have lung disease and heart disease that I've been dealing with since I've been in this world. As I get older, those issues sometimes progress and they have to be taken care of. So I'm on my own health journey, but in the meantime, my husband is in the fight for his, the fight of his life. And I haven't necessarily wanted to or been in the type of frame of mind where I want to invite guests into the tiny studio. Basically because, this is really emotional for me. And some days I don't even want to pick up a crochet hook. Some days I just don't have the wherewithal to paint or to create and design jewelry. I just don't have it in me. And unfortunately, that takes, a toll on my business. It takes a toll on, my mental health. And I say that to say, since this is a Dreadlock Love video, I have not been doing the things that I need to do and that is required of me in managing and taking care of my dreads. And I am a semi freeform locker or dreadlock diva, Locknista queen. And for the past, and this is transparency here, for the past 8 months I have not touched my hair in a loving and diva-like manner. And what am I saying? What I'm saying is that my hair hasn't been washed, it hasn't been anointed, I haven't done anything. And you know, when you are already a semi freeform dreadlock person, individual, you know that part of this lifestyle is very, very low maintenance. And so if I tell you that I went from low maintenance to no maintenance, you know I must have been going through something. And I just allowed my locks to just do what it does in totality, which meant that I usually kept my hair in one of my Rasta hats. Like here's one. I usually kept it, you know, in a Rasta hat, or I had another one around here. Anyhow, I usually kept my hair wrapped up, and or you know, in a hat or in a scarf or something to keep it protected and to keep it clean. And because I just didn't feel like dealing with it, you know. I just didn't feel like doing anything to it. And see, for me, that's one of the wonderful reasons why I stepped into this path of natural hair, of becoming a dreadlock diva, Locknista queen, is because I have periods in my journey, where I don't have the wherewithal to really, you know, administer self-care at the level that needs to be, or the level that I feel comfortable with. And that's usually because of my health journey. And part of my health journey, as I already talked about, my medical part, is mental health. And I was 13 years old when I was diagnosed as manic depressive. That went unchecked for a while due to other things I would rather not speak about. But it happened to be when I was around maybe 33, 34 years of age, where I had a complete breakdown. And it was just really bad. And that's when the universe said, you need to get help. I mean, it was so bad that I had an experience that was so traumatic for me that I left a situation or a place, and I hopped into my vehicle, and I don't know how it was that I made it home. From point A, where the traumatic incident occurred, to my home, it had to be about between 20 and 35 miles. I really think it was about 35 miles. And I don't remember. I remember getting in my car, but I don't remember pulling out of the parking lot. I don't remember driving down the street. I don't remember getting on the expressway. I don't remember. All I know is that the next moment I was pulling up into my driveway. And that's when I knew I needed help. And so I knew that the university that I had graduated from, I knew that they had a program for psychiatry, and they did outpatient psychiatry. And so the next morning, I called them and I was able to schedule myself in for outpatient therapy. And as I began to go to therapy, then I was diagnosed with bipolar 1. So it was really great to finally begin to get treatment on it and to begin to really put my mental health in a place and in a spotlight where I would be able to manage it. That's not to say that I have not had episodes where I am struggling, where I am truly, truly struggling, because I have. And that the journey that my husband is on with his cancer battle has really brought on a serious mental health crisis for me. And that's why my locks were in a Rasta hat for about 8 months. Now, when I would leave the house, of course, to on errands or to take my husband to the doctor, or when he was going for surgery or whatever, of course my locks were out, because I do believe that my locks deserve to feel sunshine on it, deserve to feel fresh air, all of those wonderful things, or the elements that the universe gives to us. Whenever I step outside the house, I made sure my hair had that, and then as soon as I step back into the house, I put my hat back on. Or sometimes, I would wear a scarf and have my hair wrapped and maybe only the tip showing, so that they would be able to give some type of sunlight and whatnot. But I was in that place, and if you suffer from mental illness, and you know what I am talking about. And so that's why I say that I just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with some of the things that I would normally do as far as self-care. And I'm learning that being a caregiver means that you also have to care for self. While you're extending the care to someone else, you also have to care for self. And that's a lesson that I have been learning on this journey. So finally, I got to the point where I was able to wash my hair. And I posted some pictures of my hair, of my hair freshly washed. And I posted pictures of what it looked like before I began to pull my locks apart, and then what it looked like after, where you could start to see a little bit of scalp going on. And let me just say it like this. Man, pulling my locks apart, that really hurt. That really, really hurt. It was very, very painful. And at the end, I lost 2 locks because they were really, entrenched or interwoven together. They were interwoven thoroughly. And as I pulled them apart while they were wet, and then I used a little oil, it was thinning. And I have the type of grade of hair where, as you grade a hair where you see that it's very thick, but it has the propensity to thin. And that's what happened. And I lost those 2 locks, and it makes me feel sad, but I was still able to separate them. After I washed my locks, I you know, I separate them, and then I have to braid them up. And I noticed that I thought I had unbraided everything, but I hadn't. So I still have one more braid to go. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. I'm going to unbraid these locks. And I think that there's a video of me unbraiding my locks, but as you see, I'm unbraiding. And you know, basically I would just take 3 or 4 locks and just braid them, or plait them, as my mom would say. And for me, it's a really, you know, really great way for me to be able to dry my locks without using heat on them. And there it is. So oops, so there, I just unbraided some. And as with, you know, when you braid your dreads, when they're damp, what happens is that when you unbraid them, of course, you have this, you know, you have a nice curly texture type of thingy going on, which I absolutely love. And it just gives your locks a whole different look, and it gives you, you know, it gives you something different to enjoy. It gives you a whole different aesthetic. And I think this is my look because my family seems to they seem to love this look with the twist out, or braid out. But I have to do it because, you know, as my hair gets longer, it becomes more difficult to dry it. And so I don't want to use any type of heat, and I don't use any type of heat on my hair. So I have to braid it up and let it stay braided for about a week, and then after a week it's dry. The whole entire head is dry. And you know, this is kind of like something that my mom used to do for my sister and I when we were younger. She would wash our hair and then section it off, plait it up, and then the next day or so our hair would be dry, and then she would go ahead and press it and, you know, curl it and all of those things. So I'm guessing that that's something that my hair just naturally likes. And you know, I've used heat on my hair before. I've used blow dryers and things like that, but I just, you know, a blow dryer for me with my locks, it really, you know, it does not dry my hair in its entirety. You know, I still experience sections of my hair where, you know, my locks are damp, you know, and then, you know, when you have that dampness, and that dampness stay for a while, then the next thing you know, you're experiencing that damp smell. And you know, that means that you're gonna have to go back and wash your hair. So being that it had been about 8 months, 8 to 9 months since the last time I washed my hair, that meant that I had to wash it 4 times. 4 times. And it wasn't because my hair was you know, dirty or anything. You know, of course it was out in the elements, you know, throughout this 8 to 9 month period of time. But you know, it's so much of it. I have so much hair that it takes me, you know, 2 or 3 times to wash. And so I washed it 4 times, just, you know, for good measure. And I used a hot oil treatment for conditioning. And then, you know, I had sideburns, so I had to, you know, trim them up because I'm a hairy brown girl, hairy black woman. So, you know, I have hair when it comes to this, you know, if you know, the Elvis look is the real thing with me. So, you know, I had to trim this up, get the my husband's clippers, and, you know, trim all this up over here on the side. I had someone once tell me that I shouldn't do that, but, you know, my hair grows so fast, and then it just, you know, grows into this, you know, this Elvis sideburn thing. You know, it doesn't look good on a woman. It might look good on my sons, and one of my sons has a full, you know, has a beard. It looks great on him, but, you know, I don't think it would look good on me. I really don't. As a matter of fact, I can truly say that it does not look good on me. So I just trimmed this up, and I have a bottle, and I've put some oils in it. And so in this bottle, I have what do I have in here? I have coconut oil, tea tree oil, and I think I have a little bit of sandalwood. And what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of those oils. Oh, it smells so good. I'm just going to put it, just put it on my head like this. And as you can see, you can, you know, you start to see a little bit of my, you can see, oh, you can see a little bit of my scalp in there. And for me, that's all I need, just a little bit of oil. And that's one thing that I was doing during this period of time. I was putting my oils into my hair and then putting the cap on. I need to run to the health food store to get some peppermint oil and some vitamin E, because vitamin E is also really great for hair. And I like peppermint oil as well because I like the scent of peppermint, of mint in my hair. So I usually keep infuse my rose water with a little peppermint oil and a little vitamin E, and, you know, just spritz it, you know, every so often. I really enjoy doing that. I am going to a family reunion this week, so I am planning on doing something I haven't done maybe in about 4 years. Maybe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to retwist my hair. And I know you're probably saying, boo, don't do it now. But I'm probably just going to retwist it and retwist the front, and that'll probably it. That'll probably be all I'll do. I will be using some Talia Wajid. And I really like this product. I've been using it, well, let me think on that. I found out about this product maybe back in 2012, 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. And this is why I did. I just take a little bit of that, and it really, it helps, it holds grays really well. And I'm not looking for a miracle, you know, as far as with my retwist, because I already know that, you know, it's not going to stay that long. It's probably, you know, it's only going to be good for the weekend, and then that's going to be it. And I buy it more so that my daughter can learn how to retwist, but she's a semi free former as well. So, you know, she uses it, but she's not really, you know, into that as well, because we just let our hair, we're not really into retwisting, so we just really, you know, if we do something like this, it's for a special occasion. And like I said, I haven't done this in about 5 years, so I'm just doing it for the weekend. But if I had to, like I said, this is the only product that I use. Talia Waji Tight Hold. And when you have gray hair, or as I have white hair, you know, you find that when you're trying to find products to retwist your hair and you're looking for something to hold, it's kind of difficult, because, you know, white and gray hair are different. It's a different texture from your regular hair or your black hair. And, you know, I just found that regular locking gels was not working for me, and that's when I really started to get into making my own gels. And so I started making gels from flaxseed oil. I mean flax seeds. And I started making flaxseed gels, and I would infuse it with a little vitamin E and tea tree. And I've been using flaxseed gels for, I don't know, since maybe 2015, 2016. I started making my own gels from flax seeds, and I haven't done it recently. I'm trying to think. I think the last batch of flaxseed gel I made had to be right before the pandemic, maybe in 2019. I made some because I was traveling and I wanted to do just a semi retwist here, which is, you know, I only really just do the front. I don't even bother with anything else, just the front, you know. And so I made my own gel. That was the flaxseed gel. And, you know, flaxseed gel, it works really well. You have to be mindful that, you know, the shelf life is very short. So you can make a batch of flaxseed gel, keep it in your refrigerator for about a week, and then you have to toss it. So I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, and I think that's with anything. That's the reason why, you know, there's so many preservatives in a lot of things that we use, because it preserves the shelf life. You know, we want longer shelf life. So this is a pretty good gel. And what I like about this Talia YG Tight Hold, what I like is that I don't see any residue, and I don't have there's not any stickiness to this gel. You know, residue is something that I really despise. I don't like residue, and I just, you know, and stickiness. But the gel residue, I don't like it. So this Talia YG is pretty good. And as I said before, I've used a lot of different products, and some were good, some were okay, some were bad. And I've just learned that when it comes to putting additives and things into your locks, you know, less is always best. And so, being that this is going to be a special event that I'm going to, you know, for the weekend, I'm probably just going to do maybe about 5 or 6 more locks, probably around the edges, maybe just probably at the top more so, and leave it be. You know, just leave it be. I mean, my locks have already been through enough trauma from being separated. So the curls in my hair probably are going to last me for about, I don't know, maybe about 2 months, 2 or 3 months it'll last. And being that I plan to do better self-care, hopefully, by the time I get ready to wash my hair and do all the things I need to do to it, this is July, so the next time I'm probably going to hit it again will probably be September, right before my brother's wedding. Then it'll be time for me to, wash this hair, wash these beautiful dreads, and plait it up, and then, we'll be back to we'll be back to this. I don't know yet if I'm going to, retwist my hair for my brother's wedding. And if I do, I'm probably only going to, once again, retwist the top. That's basically it. And overall, as I did an assessment of my hair after I washed it and everything, and after I unplaited my locks are basically very, very healthy. And just leaving it alone and not touching it was a fantastic thing, as I already knew. But it was just a really great thing for my locks, because when I say they grew, they grew. They have grown. They're very long, and they're very strong and very healthy. And I would advise anyone, if you're going through something in your life, if you're having issues with your locks and you want to save them, then the best thing that you can possibly do is to not touch them at all. Just leave them alone. Wrap them up, put them in a Rasta hat, crochet hat like I have, and just leave them be and let them thrive on their own. Add a little oil to them every now and again. Let your locks get some sun and some fresh air, and just let them grow. That's the best thing that you can do. All right then, so thank you so much for hanging out with me here in the tiny studio. I really, really, really appreciate it. And we'll be getting back to some crocheting and chatting very, very soon. And thank you so much for subscribing to Simply Nails Tiny Studio. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I have some great content coming up. I'm going to be talking about, of course, my obsession with Coach. My Coach obsession, my vintage Coach obsession. I'll be getting into that very soon. And, let's talk about what's happening out here in the luxury designer bag world. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about quiet luxury and quiet fashion. And what is that all about? Let's get into it. Why not? We can do a lot here in the tiny studio. So come on back and enjoy Simply Nails Tiny Studio. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And do not forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much. I'm your girl, Nail, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.